She handed me a smile every single morning while secretly texting our friends that I was the villain of a story she had written entirely in her own favor, and I never saw it coming until the night everything collapsed at once. I had opened my home to Jessica when her world fell apart, drafted a clear agreement covering rent, utilities, and gas, and restructured my entire brutal schedule around her needs. 2 jobs, online coursework, and a daily chauffeur run to her campus and part-time job before my own shifts even began. I was operating on 4 hours of sleep and pure loyalty, while Jessica was operating on something far more calculated. The warning signs arrived quietly, dishes abandoned, shared spaces trashed, my personal belongings vanishing one by one while takeout boxes multiplied in the trash she never took out. Every time I raised it, she weaponized her student status like a legal shield, and I retreated, giving her grace she was already planning to exploit. Then the bills stopped getting paid entirely. Not reduced, stopped. And Jessica said nothing, did nothing, and smiled through every single morning drive like a woman with a flawless alibi. The night I dragged myself home for a long overdue staycation, my landlord's call hit like a verdict rent had not been paid, and the account was dangerously short. Before I could even process that, Marcus called, his voice stripped of its usual warmth, asking questions that made my stomach drop. He arrived within the hour and laid it out with the precision of someone delivering evidence. Jessica had been systematically telling every mutual friend that I was a controlling, toxic roommate who had been stealing her contributions and funneling them into my own expenses. She had constructed an entire alternative reality, distributed it through our social circle like a press release, and timed it perfectly while I was too exhausted to defend myself. I collapsed. Marcus did not. He planted himself in that dining room and told me he was not moving until this was handled. When Jessica walked through the front door that evening, relaxed and unbothered, and found us both sitting there waiting in silence, something shifted behind her eyes just for a fraction of a second before the performance resumed. She played confused, played innocent, played tired, and then mid-confrontation had the breathtaking audacity to cut me off and suggest that if I simply paid the rent, the problem would resolve itself and she would reimburse me eventually. Something in me went completely cold and absolutely clear. I itemized every dollar rent, electricity, water, gas, groceries, and delivered her an ultimatum with a hard deadline and zero negotiation. Full repayment by month's end or immediate vacancy. She retreated. Marcus looked at me across that table and reminded me I had paid time off waiting. I packed one bag, powered my phone completely down, walked out, and let karma take the late shift while I finally slept.